All right. Happy Lonely Wednesday. Welcome, everybody, to Sam Roberts Now. Hope everybody's doing great out there, huh? How are we all doing? Hopefully very, 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 very lonely, especially for a Wednesday. I hope you got that Friday lonely feeling right now, even though it's just Wednesday. Welcome, everybody. I hope you're good. Of course, what would Sam Roberts Now be without hot dog on the screen? It's hot dog, everybody. Hey, hot dog's
Hello.
here.
And if you are not lonely, you can get the hell out of
You
here.
can get the hell out of here.
Get.
Because we don't want anything to do with you. If you're out there right now and you're thinking to yourself, man, my social life is exactly where I want it to be. Goodbye.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. We don't want any of that noise here. Unless where exactly where you want it to be is lonely. Then in which case, you know, you're like us. You're good. You're good to go.
We're trying to build a Riddler army here of lonely sociopaths.
Hey, I'm working on getting them 500 followers. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm almost there. I saw those tweets going around. They were like, oh, those people who made the Batman movie, they didn't know 500 followers isn't that many followers. It was like, it was so obviously supposed to be QAnon. Like, that's what it was supposed to be. If you've seen the QAnon documentary, and you've seen how even in the documentary, they framed the way stuff looked on 4chan, and then they were like, oh, the Riddler's got 500 followers already in this secret thing. Like, clearly it was supposed to be secret 4chan QAnon that only, you know, serial killers had access to, not the police. So if it's a secret society that has 4chan dark web access to it, then yes, 500 followers is a lot of followers. But people were like, I got more than that on Twitter. It's like, okay, yeah, but you're not on the dark web trying to hide it from police because you're trying to kill everybody in Madison Square Garden when there's floods. Sorry, spoiler alert, but it's been a couple weeks.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take 500 of the most loyal, lonely followers, please.
Yeah, I'll take them. You don't even have to go to Madison Square Garden for me. You just need to stay at home and hit the like button. 500 likes, I'll take them. I will take them. Hey, speaking of movies, we will have movie stuff to talk about. But I tell you, for me, this morning did not start predictably. Poor Lila Garrity, my Labradoodle, Lila Garrity. It's like 7:30 in the morning. You know, my wife's already awake. She let the dog out. That's what she likes to do. She likes to go out in the morning, you know, drop a hot deuce, leave it in the backyard for somebody else to find it later, come back in, jump on the bed, and assuming I don't have work in the morning, she sleeps in with me. It's really a peaceful, wonderful time while
Beautiful.
Yeah, while my lady starts the day. 7:30 in the morning. Sam. And it was one of those like,
Lila?
no, Lila was not the one saying Sam. No. I was like, oh my God, that's what you sound like? Jess, the dog is talking. I didn't hear anything, Sam. I don't think that's true. It was one of those, you know when you're asleep and like, you know, I mean, you wouldn't, I guess your friend, it probably wouldn't be a woman in your case, hot dog, but somebody who's sharing your residence with you is like, hot dog. And you're like, well, I just woke up on the second one. But if I just pretend I'm asleep, maybe they'll lose interest and leave me alone.
Yeah, constantly.
Yeah. I mean, it could be 4:00 in the afternoon. You're like, maybe they'll just decide it's not that important.
Yeah, or knock on my door and just get really quiet.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my strategy. It's 7:30 in the morning. I'm like, nope. And then by the third one, it was like, Sam, I think Lila's bleeding. I was like, what? And I got up and I'm like, she's like, I think there's some blood on the duvet. And I go, okay, I'm sure she's just like chewing her paw. You know how dogs sometimes chew on their paw? I'm sure it's no big deal. And I reached over and I pet her head and she moved her body. And I swear to God, I thought it was something out of like an A24 movie. The white blanket just had a pool of blood on it. It was like, I was like, oh my God, there's something else going on. But she was looking at me going like, what, Dad? I thought we were resting. And I was like, you are bleeding. And I was like, okay. And I'm like, okay, let me figure out where it's coming from. She doesn't seem like she's hurt or anything. And I start looking around and like there was so much blood coming from wherever this wound was that it was like on her in different spots. So I couldn't see.
Can't find it.
Exactly. I couldn't tell what was blood and what was. So I was like, okay.
Did you ask her?
I was like, Lila girl, can you tell me? And all she told me was that Timmy had fallen down a well. I was like, that's not going to help me right now, Lila. And so I brought her up to the tub. My daughter is sitting there going, Dad, Lila's bleeding. I was like, I know. I'm aware. That's why I'm bringing her to the tub, bringing her upstairs. I'm still in my underpants, getting out of bed, bringing her up to the tub. My son wakes up.
Walter Whiting it. Tidy whities?
I mean, what else would you wear? And then I'm a suburban dad, of course. And my socks pulled up way past my ankles. Hell yeah. and so I get her in the tub and I start like rinsing her down. And I'm like, okay, Jess, I've isolated the problem. And she goes, how did you do that? And I said, well, now that I've hosed down the dog, I think it might be the pool of blood that's under her back right paw. And they were like, yeah, that seems to be where the wound is located. But I like touched her paw. She was walking on it fine. I was like, okay. And we'll go to the emergency, 24-hour vet. And so as I'm getting ready to get in the car and stuff, and my wife is figuring out what needs to get cleaned and everything. And all I'm thinking, by the way, is she's taking the duvet to the cleaners. And it is literally the scene in American Psycho where they're like, what's that?
Questions.
What's that stain? It's cranberry juice, cran apple. And I find her little toenail next to the bed. And I was like, oh, that's what happened. Like sometimes that happens with dogs. Like they break their nails off and there's all kinds of nerves and stuff attached to it. And so she's just like, gushing blood out of her poor little paw. And I was like, oh my God. So I took her to the vet. She gets very stressed out at the groomers or the vet. She doesn't like being around other people, especially when it's not in her house. I think she knows she's smarter than most dogs. I think she knows that dogs get euthanized. She doesn't know if vets or groomers or whoever do it, but she just knows that dogs get euthanized.
How the hell does she know that?
I think she knows because she really doesn't like it, more so than any other dog that I've had. And she's not a violent dog. She's a very sweet girl. But what she likes to do, whenever she gets to the vet and it's going to have something to do with her, she's got to get a shot, she's got to get something done, is she welcomes herself by taking a big giant shit on their floor. And I mean, I've literally brought her in, right? Because she's like constipated. She's clearly trying to shit. She can't shit. And I'm like, Jess, I will take her to the vet. But you understand that what we're going to get billed for is just being in the presence of the vet. Because once she's at the office, regardless of what's stopping her up, it's all coming out. Stress shitting for this dog will defeat anything. I mean, when I told you that earlier that morning, she had already gone out in the yard to do her morning business. She finds it. Where there's a will, there's a way. She finds it, and she put those wonderful poor nurses to work. Oh, I mean, a couple of them. It was just like, whoop, she's going. And it stunk the whole place up. Everybody else is there with their dogs going, ooh. And they're all pet people. Like, they all know this is a thing, but, it's not
all the other dogs well-behaved?
No, luckily, no. They weren't like, nobody was horrible there, but they were all kind of nervous. Dogs know. This is where dogs go to die. Dogs know.
I mean, I'm just very curious how they would, what do they just sense it? Is it like an ancestry thing?
Yeah, dogs have a sixth sense. Dogs know. They have very keen instincts. That's why, the good dogs are like hunters. They're why do you think they call them they're shepherding dogs? Shepherds, because they can shepherd the sheep in. They're amazing. So whatever, she's sitting there, we first like one nurse comes over. They get a cute little jar of disinfectant for the paw. I said, I think I know exactly what it is. They said, yeah, it sounds like that. They get a little jar of disinfectant. Because regardless of whether I know what it is or not, like, first I tried to put a diaper on her foot. I tried to put a diaper on her foot and then tape it up with medical tape. She kicked that sumbitch off in 30 seconds flat. She's like, no, that's not going to happen. So I put her in the car with
you have to sabu it with the glue. Just glue it all up.
Yeah. Super glue the
hardcore.
I have to literally find the wound and super glue it shut. That's what she wants. She'd rather probably have that done than go to the vet. But no, we handle this like professionals. And so, I'm outside with her and she's getting blood all over the walkway. I mean, if any police officers had come, they'd been like, what the hell is going on in this house? But by the time we got her there, like I was chilling with her. I was relaxing her. She stopped bleeding. And then my dad came in to check on her. He came to the doctor's office to just, he likes to see what's going on. And she gets real excited to see her grandpa, my dad.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, she jumps up. She starts jumping around, moving her paws. Guess what she does? Starts bleeding all over the place again. And the place where they had just disinfectant because she got shit all over it, it's just blood everywhere. And I was
shit and blood.
I was
everywhere.
like, oh my God. And the nurse came over. Oh, honey, are you bleeding again? I go, yeah, she's bleeding again. Yeah, she's bleeding again.
But she's so happy.
She's happy, but she's bleeding.
Isn't that all that matters?
Yeah, but also she's bleeding everywhere. So the doctor comes over and the doctor's like, I'm going to give you some antibiotics, obviously, to make sure the cut doesn't get infected or anything. But since that is what this looks like, we've examined it and everything. My recommendation, since it stopped bleeding, would be to not have a bandage at all and just let it air heal. And I said, Miss, all due respect, doctor, the minute she gets home, she's going to crack this thing right back open. It's what she likes to do. She's going to bleed all over the house. We're wrapping it. We got to wrap it. We'll take the wrap off tomorrow, however long, but we got to wrap it. So they wrapped up the foot. They wrapped up the paw. She's walking around, poor thing, all day today with like a pink, wrapped up paw to kind of just
Is she frustrated with it? Does she like it?
No, she doesn't mind. She's just not like the type that like bites at her paw and stuff like that. They offered us a cone. And I said, no, my dog's better behaved than that. And they said, really? She just shit and bled all over our floor. I go, well, that's not biting her paw. Whether you have a
also, like, if I see a cone on your dog, I'm going to think your dog's stupid.
You think that it correlates to stupidity, having cones on dogs?
Yeah. Like,
just stop biting yourself. And you wouldn't have this
stupid.
cone. Yeah, no, I told him I didn't need a cone. And we don't need a cone. She's not biting at her wrapping at all.
Yeah, and she's not stupid.
She's not stupid. No, she is not. No, she is not. But yeah, we're getting her better now. But that's the way the morning started. It was lots of action, lots of tension. It was, but we got her good. We got her well taken care of. And now she's been resting a lot. Of course, no frolicking free in the backyard. We put her on I put her on the leash and walk around a little bit so she can get her pee out and everything. But I don't need her going nuts and opening wounds back. Yeah, no. Wrapped up or no wrapped up. But so hopefully tomorrow we get to go and have the wrapping taken off of her beautiful little paw. And all Lila G will be good as new. You know where Lila Garrity gets her name from?
I think you've told me.
Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
It's really confusing for a lot of vets. It's the second time I've done this with a pet. We had a cat before we had Lila. His name was Bruiser Brody. And they go, what's your dog's name? And I go, Lila. And they go, Lila Roberts. I go, it's Lila Garrity, but this is going to get confusing. She's, what? Yeah, no. Her name's Lila Garrity. Like, I realized it was going to get confusing when I think it was the groomer. I don't think it was the vet. When I think my wife got called Mrs. Garrity. My wife was like, no, my last name is Roberts. No, the dog's name is Garrity. It's a television.
Could have given her a middle name.
Garrity is the middle name, and then Lila Garrity Roberts.
Lila Garrity Roberts.
The character's name is Lila Garrity. That's who the dog is named after. What can I tell you? That's the character's name. Maybe next time, what's a great character whose name is Roberts? Playboy Buddy Roberts? Maybe I'll name the next pet Playboy Buddy Roberts. But in the meantime, and Buddy's a good dog name, that might work. But my dog's name is Lila Garrity, and that can get confusing at times. But we take care of her, and her paw is going to get healed, and it's going to be great. And then they were like, I was like, perfect. So that's great that there's not even that much to do. All we have to do is wrap up the paw. And they go, yep, we have to wrap up the paw, and then before you go, we got to shake you down for every $1 that you have. I was like, oh, okay, I knew that part was coming. And yeah,
is there pet insurance?
There is. I don't know if we have it. It's not one of those like medical. I mean, we have medical.
What else would it be for?
I'm saying that like people need, like everybody you would hope would try to get medical insurance. That's why so many full-time jobs offer medical insurance. Like medical insurance is becoming more and more of a thing that people need to have. It's a conversation. I think pet insurance is more of an option that people choose to take or not take. But even so, I mean, we're doing our taxes and I had a couple of hospital trips. Nothing major, nothing to be concerned about. All good now for the kids, in the last year. And like even with insurance, it's still $800. It's like, what are we paying insurance for then? What do you mean $800? Well, there was 2 visits, and the doctor took their temperature, so that'll be $800.
These sons of bitches. I told you how I got sucker punched on Times Square earlier this year, right? Back in January. I go in to get my eyes checked out.
How come you got sucker punched again?
Why? How or why?
Were you like the character in the beginning of Batman that's just like trying to get off the subway?
Okay. I was spray painting a bank and I wrote broke on it, and then the Dark Knight came in.
No. You weren't one of the bad guys. You remember in the beginning of Batman, the guy on the subway who's like running away from the gang and Batman has to save him? That was you. That was you.
No, well, it was a bunch of teenage, thugs, I guess.
Whoa, uh-oh.
But I got sucker punched, and then I go to the doctor, get it checked out, and they do an eye exam. They like take a photo of my eye, and I would think it doesn't take that much, or it shouldn't cost that much money to take a photo of my eye. You have the machine there. I'm just here. You take a photo.
You got punched in the face and you went to the hospital?
In my eye. I got hit in my eye, and I was seeing a little bit of I was seeing stars. So I wanted to make sure. Someone told me. I would have gone.
You got a black eye and went to the hospital? No wonder you got sucker punched in Times Square. You got punched in the face and went to the hospital?
Well, because I got this new insurance plan and I wanted to also use it.
Oh, yeah. They saw you coming. New insurance plan. Yeah, go to the hospital every time. No problem.
They had me going 3 times for an eye checkup for something that was okay. And then she knew. On the 3rd time she knew. She was like, hey, so I'm supposed to tell you that you should come in 2 months. And I was like, no, absolutely not.
No.
She's like, I know.
You got me 3 times already. 3 times. Yeah, it's like when I go to the dentist and they're like, your teeth look great. We just need to do x-rays on you before you go because it's been a year. I'm like, okay, do the x-rays. And then they look at the x-rays and they go, oh, wow. I go, what? You said my teeth look great. You just looked at them with the pick and the mirror and everything. And they're like, we found 4 small cavities on the x-ray. And I go like this. I don't feel a goddamn thing. I don't feel any pain. I don't feel anything. They're like, yeah, well, we better drill them so you don't. I'm like, well, okay. And they make it, and if you go I don't
shake you down.
Yeah, if you go, I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to do that. They look at you like, are you one of those people that don't go to the dentist? Do you have bad breath? And I'm like, wait. You want your teeth to rot out of your face? No, I just don't think. They tried to pull that shit, dude. All of these doctors, they tried to pull that shit on my 5-year-old who was 4 at the time. We had to get a new dentist because the dentist that we were going to said that we were really definitely going to need to drill for cavities on my 4-year-old son. I'm like, he's not even going to keep the teeth. It wasn't even a financial thing. I was just like, I'm not putting a That's gonna suck for this 4-year-old. Are you crazy? And we went
traumatizing.
We went to another dentist, and we were like, "Yeah, we're coming from this dentist," and they go, "Oh yeah, yep." And it's like that dentist loves surgery, oral surgery doctor. He loves drilling baby teeth. And the doctor we're at, you know what I would recommend instead of drilling? And we go, what? And he goes, flossing. I go, yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah,
We'll stick with you. We'll stick with you, doc. Thank you.
Oh, I can't trust them.
Oh, it's crazy. It's nuts. But yeah, so God bless Lila. I'm broke, but God bless Lila. Get those super chats in. Because we got to pay for Lila's paw that, I mean, apparently could have been, if you could air heal, if you're leaving
I never even heard of that term.
Yeah, just to heal it in the air. Then it's like, okay, then can I pay you with air? No. No. I mean, look, everybody there did a great job, so, I felt okay paying them, but
walk it off, Lila.
Yeah, maybe next time. I'll tell you what I did pay for. Hot dog, I went to the theater and I saw it. X.
E to the M to the X.
X, the movie that's got myself and I guess other people talking. X, it's one seriously goddamn fucked up horror movie. X, starring Mia Goth and Brittany Snow and Kid Cudi, Jenny Ortega, directed by the incredible Ty West, an A24 picture. And let me tell you something. A24 is on a goddamn roll. A24 just needs to keep doing what they're doing because I don't think that they've struck out yet. A24 has been amazing with what they've been putting out. And to me, X fits right in there. I had such a good time seeing this movie. No spoilers. Just came out this weekend, so no spoilers. But I'll tell you the story. X is a horror movie. Takes place in, I think, 1978. Late 70s. In Texas. Outskirts. Stop me if you've heard this one before. Yeah, gas station, van, the whole deal. But basically, it's this group of young people. And they want to make a porno movie. But they want to do a great porno movie. They want this to be the thing that makes them rich and famous. This is like Debbie Does Dallas had just become a phenomenon. And they want to do the next Debbie Does Dallas. In fact, the filmmaker, his whole thing is that he wants to make a dirty movie that's a good dirty movie, that's shot well and that's artistic and that has story behind it. And it really runs parallel to the horror movie that you're watching. A lot of people have these preconceptions of the horror genre. So it's like whenever there's one that is shot well, has a lot of good story to it, has depth, right? Has a lot of effort put into it, people go, oh, this is special. This is different. I think these comparisons could be made. So what they do is they're on the outskirts of Houston, Texas, I believe, and they go to a farmer's border house. It's like a small house on the big farm lot, and that's where they plan on spending the night and shooting the movie. The farm is owned by a very creepy old couple, and that's basically where things get rolling. Now, the two ladies that are going to star in this picture are burlesque performers. They're strippers at this strip club that the guy owns. And the role of, I believe his name is Jackson Hole. That's the character's name. Is
great porn star name.
Jackson Hole is played by Kid Cudi, who's great. Everybody, all the actors are great in this. Everybody does a really good job. And it's interesting because there is this movie. Number one, lots of sex, lots of nudity, very, very horny movie. If you like a good old-fashioned 70s, 80s horny-ass movie.
Harry Bush's.
It's not a big Harry Bush movie. You went there real quick. I mean, it's not.
That's what I think of 70s porn.
No, I know. It's not a porno movie. It's a mainstream horror movie. It's not they're making a porno in the movie, but this isn't the porno. that we're watching. It's not
Okay.
porno. It's a horror movie. But the first, at least half of the movie, maybe even 2/3, is really centered around the filming of this movie. We do see a lot of the film being made. We kind of get a grasp on what the story is. We get to watch the scenes being shot. You'll like that, huh?
Nice.
There's a lot of it. And the sort of real slasher, horror, gory stuff doesn't really get going until maybe even the last third. Definitely the second half. Maybe the last third of the movie. But once it gets going, it gets going. This is a gory ass movie. And it's really fun because once it starts, it just takes you're just fired out of a cannon, and it's nonstop after that. And I love that. I love that it's got this build, and you're like, okay, I can see, there's a creepy vibe, but all you're getting is a creepy vibe. And the whole time you're trying to guess, what's going to be the twist here? How is this? Because it's a horror movie, so something's coming. And then, boom, once that first kill hits, it just starts going, kill there, kill there. And the other thing is, there's a lot of different characters in the film. All the characters are very well defined. It's not just group of campers, and this one's a bimbo, but this one's a brunette. It's there are actually well-defined characters here, and every kill counts. None of the kills are just kill for kill's sake. Every kill you're actually invested in, which some people may take for granted, but that is certainly not the norm when it comes to movies like this that are kind of slasher movies. Lots of different elements pulled in from a lot of different places that I won't spoil everything of. I will tell you, number one, there's a character reveal that some people didn't see coming. I did see coming, and I thought it was great. I thought there's a lot of parallels that are made, but not only within the genre, when they're talking about making the porn and making the horror movie, but parallels between characters, that you realize that some of the characters are kind of living parallel lives, but they're at different stages of that type of life. It's really, really fun. It's really cool. It's a type of movie that I now want to go back and see again. There were points as it was leading up that I'm I hope this pays off. There were absolutely points, to about halfway through, where I was okay, I really hope this pays off. Because there were moments where I was if this doesn't pay off, this is going to be a huge disappointment, because I've bought in quite a bit to get to this point. But to me, I felt that it really did. I felt that it really did pay off. I felt that X is actually far more in the spirit of what made Texas Chainsaw Massacre an excellent film than the sequel to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I felt this was more of a spirit, in the spirit, and in that sort of spirit family of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, by 10 miles than the remake that Netflix did, a few months ago or a few weeks ago. Or
it wasn't
it
wasn't an homage to it.
It was no. I mean, there are clearly similarities, and the house that was picked, and some of the locations and everything. But no, it's a totally different movie. The visuals and the kind of vibe are familiar of that, but they're also familiar of a lot of movies of that era. Which I thought was I thought was great. And then, I got even more excited because post-credit scene, of course, there is a post-credit scene. Nothing better, by the way, than watching the people next to you, because I had heard. You know who I heard there was a post-credit scene from?
Yeah.
Kayla Braxton. Shout-outs to Kayla Braxton. She said there was a post-credit scene. I said, let me stick around for this post-credit scene. The people that were sitting next to me, they got up and left during the credits. You think I told them to stick around?
You never. No,
Never.
you don't
No.
do that.
No. Go. Then go. Oh, you don't want to see who made this movie? Then go.
It's a treat for me.
It's for me. You won't see it then ever. You'll read about it on the internet. You'll watch it. You'll watch me talk about it on Sam Roberts Now, but you'll never see it. And I went to see this movie at the Alamo. So it's even easier to stick around for the post-credit scene because that's when you're like, doing your credit card stuff, figuring out how much you're going to tip and everything. You actually have things to do during the credits. But the post-credit scene is great. It's a teaser for something. And I thought that it was a teaser for something potentially. And I started Googling. And Ty West did an interview on the red carpet of the premiere of this movie. And he let the cat out of the bag that the thing that is being teased in the post-credit scene is happening. Like it's already happened and we're doing it. Which I am out of my mind for. I'll just say this. Apparently, like there may be a space where there's an X franchise almost. And it's going to get complicated because this is not like a monster movie. You know what I mean? It's not like Jason can just come back and we can do infinity of them. But yeah, I found it to be very well done. And I love that like they took the time to shoot a real movie, to really tell some story. Like there's stuff there to really discuss. There's a nice reveal at the end. And then also just the goriest kills you could ever hope to see.
And a little bit of nudity. That one hurt.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you about that. Whole first part of the movie. Tons and tons of nudity. They love to have sex on camera, and they do it a lot.
Nice. We're talking about like devil's triangles here, or what kind of porn are we shooting?
No, just regular hetero guy on girl stuff. Not really your thing, but it's the 70s, you know?
Yeah. The generic stuff.
Yeah. Brittany Snow is in it from Pitch Perfect, But yeah, I had a great time. I had a great time watching it, and it's cool because Ty West has been at it for a long time. Ty West did a movie called The Innkeepers. He did a couple of other movies before that as well, and he hasn't really done any movies in years. He's been working like directing TV episodes and stuff like that, and this one is written, directed, like this is his thing, and I feel like this is the one where this is going to be the one that his mainstream reputation is built on. There's already plenty of Ty West fans, and there's already people that are fans of his, but this is going to be the one that the kind of bigger scale pays attention and allows him to kind of go out and do his own thing. And I mean, I honestly think he's going to end up in those like Ari Aster conversations now, the horror auteur, as it were, which is a great thing. We need more horror auteurs.
There's space. We need space for like a couple new trilogies, a couple new franchises.
I'm not against it. I'm not against it. No, I think it's, yeah. So I thought it was a lot of fun. And, yeah, even the title, X, people, what'd you say? That's like a poodle barking.
Now it's DMX.
DMX was like a Rottweiler. Arr, arr, arr. Not like, arr, arr. Like, why are you barking like that? That's not how he did it at all. But also, it's like the 70s. It's like DMX is way before DMX. God bless, by the way. Bless up to DMX. But no, Darkman X has nothing to do with this movie. A lot of people, you sound like Lila when she heard her paw. Yeah, I think people assume that it's called X because obviously the movie that they're making in the farmhouse, X-rated movie. But there's a lot more to it than that. I think it's got multiple meanings, and I think that that's explored within the movie as well. So, yeah. PTE says no spoils, but the killer has a knife. That's all we'll tell you.
Does he? Is that a spoiler?
Maybe.
Don't you?
Maybe. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say. I just said maybe. Maybe. I don't know for sure.
You spoil the knife kills for us.
Yeah. So check out X. It's great. It's great. I'd love to hear it, and we'll talk about it more once everybody's gotten a chance to see it and everything. Do you know this artist right here, Polka Hot Dog? This is Polka. Do you know who Polka is?
Polka. No,
Polka.
she looks very cute.
Oh, yeah. She's a Brazilian pop star.
Let me look her up. Polka?
Polka.
No.
Polka. Why you say? Why would I just said polka? And you were like, "Is it polka?" No, it's polka. Like
because that's the first thing that showed up on Google.
No, polka. P-O-C-A-H. Polka. Like Pocahontas.
Got it.
All right. See, this is polka, and polka is making national headlines. God bless her. Good for her, because she's sparked a debate that has everybody going crazy. She tweeted out or sent out an Instagram story or whatever. She spoke to her followers, albeit on TikTok, I don't know. And she said, I woke up at 5:30 a.m. with extreme stomach aches and had to go to the hospital, she said, adding that she feared it was appendicitis, kidney stones, or an umbilical hernia. I said, oh, no. What if it's diverticulitis? Hot Dog, what if Polka has diverticulitis?
I don't know half of these, but they all sound bad.
Very bad.
I don't like them.
Your gut health is so important. So important. You got to drink the probiotics, Hot Dog. You got to
took down Brock Lesnar.
Well, it tried to. It tried to. And it might have taken him down for a hot second, but it didn't knock that boy out. No, no, no. Brock Lesnar kicked the shit out of diverticulitis. I don't know if Polka is as tough as Brock Lesnar. That's my only concern. Luckily for Polka, the problem was not diverticulitis.
Okay. Good. Good.
Hot Dog, the singer was given painkillers intravenously. IV painkillers. That's how bad it was. And underwent tomography and blood test. She told her followers she was fine and that the diagnosis was, and I don't know if this is the medical term, an accumulation of trapped farts.
Ew.
Yes. Okay, Hot Dog, you shaming farts like that is why they were trapped. Okay? Polka explained she was dating a guy and she had been around him for a few days and that they weren't at that place yet in their dating life where she could fart around him. So she was trapping them and they just collected inside of her body. I don't know if she wasn't sleeping. I don't like, because I would think that if you kept your farts inside all day, you can't squeeze those things out, SBD.
Yeah, you got plenty of time to squeeze it out. You're going to the restroom. You're leaving when you're not with them. You sleep.
Right. Hang on a second. I got to drop a hot piss. You go in, you piss, because piss, everybody's fine with that. I got to go take a piss. And then you just completely hotbox the bathroom. And then you leave, you know? And then if he goes in right after you, right before he goes in, you go like this. Oh, man, that stinks. Whoever was in me before farted a whole bunch of times. And he's like, oh,
Not me, though.
Not me, though. I smell it, too, because I didn't dealt it. So, and I didn't supply it either. And even if I am denying it, I didn't supply it. And he's like, okay, whatever you say. You're making a big deal out of this. Oh, God, this bathroom.
Close the door.
No, she said
farts. I mean, or they could be silent.
SBDs,
you know?
That's what it is. Silent but deadly.
Yeah, I guess you can't trust your own farts if when they're deadly.
Well, yeah, here's the problem. 9 times out of 10, if I got to drop an SBD, it's going to be, I don't know for sure that it'll be deadly, but you bet your bottom dollar that it's silent. The problem is 1 time out of 10, that 10% of times where you're like, okay, this is going to be a nice silent but deadly, and it's just. Was that you? And the whole time you're looking around going like, who's doing this? And they're like, it's clearly coming from your chair. And like, is this a squeaky chair? Is this happening to anybody else? And if you're really into a dude, maybe you don't want to take that risk. Maybe you don't want to be like, okay, but I'm on vacation. I can't make this the 10%. Maybe it was a 90-day fiance deal where every second counts and she can't be sitting there thinking it's going to be a silent but deadly, and it's farting a whole bunch. Like, imagine if Kimberly farted a ton in front of Usman while she was trying to convince him to have sex with her. He wouldn't have done it because he wouldn't want more farts.
Fucking gross.
Farts are?
No, if she did that. Kimberly.
Okay, see, that's the problem. But you're saying if Polka did that, it'd be like, that's okay.
It's fine with me.
Yeah. Let her rip, honey. Let her rip. But who knows? Who knows who this guy was, right? That's because that's Polka and you're Hot Dog. But if she was like with the Polka version of a dude, or even higher than Polka, then maybe she was feeling the same thing. Like, okay, all right, Hot Dog. Polka can let it rip in front of you. Would you fart in front of Polka at the beginning of your relationship?
As a power move, maybe.
And that's the way it's going to be from now on.
Yeah.
I don't think you would.
Psychological.
I don't think you would. You know?
I think there's levels to it. I feel like I would do that because I would feel like she's way over my league.
No.
And I would want her to.
Here's what would happen. You would think that, and you go, that's what I should do, but you wouldn't have the balls to execute.
No, I would want her to think. I don't want her to think that I think, or that I know that she's way over my league. So I would fart as a
but then she'd end up
psychological move.
She'd be like that other girl, the Colombian girl from 90 Day Fiance. That's like, I don't know, this guy's farting and burping. I'm not in love with him anymore. Like,
I mean, she was never in love with him.
No, she wasn't. Fair. She found a nice hot excuse though. Nice hot excuse.
Exactly.
The experience definitely taught Polka a lesson. She said, never hold in your farts for anyone. She said, girls, don't be ashamed to fart in front of your guy. What's actually embarrassing is not letting him sleep because you're in discomfort, going to the hospital with him and being diagnosed with trapped farts.
Oh, my God. I would have lied.
That is embarrassing. What did the doctor say? Cancer. I don't know. Cancer. Like that would have been that would have been the first thing. Cancer. Yep. What kind of cancer? Stomach cancer. You have
said it's the curable kind.
Yeah.
It's gone after a week.
Polka. You have stomach cancer? Yeah, but he said it. If I'm alone for a while, it'll go away. So can you leave so I can go cure my cancer real quick? I mean, how do you? Because she's talking about days. She says from now on, I'm letting them rip.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, do you think that this could be a publicity stunt? She saw the girl from 90 Day Fiance putting farts in jars and going, well, what's the opposite of that? I can't fart into jars because people will be like, I'm a biter. What if I tell everybody that I went to the hospital due to extreme lack of farting? Overflatulence has been done. Could I get some street cred for extreme lack of farting? And now, by saying girls, all the girls should fart, Polk is kind of becoming a feminist icon.
Did the doctors make her fart all the farts out?
I think so. Once? I haven't seen that in my research, but I'm assuming, yeah, they just told her, keep farting, fart some more. Keep farting. Yeah. And she's like,
just squeeze her belly until all the farts came out.
Yeah, that means that she definitely didn't shit at all. Because farts would definitely come out.
Maybe she started.
Maybe at the hospital, honestly. Probably at the hospital. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe she's got IBS like Adriana on The Sopranos.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not so comfortable telling Christopher about it.
Because it's fucking gross. Christopher doesn't want to hear about that.
Man, that beautiful lady had IBS. She can't help that. This is the problem, Hot Dog. This is why so many women are going to the hospital for trapped farts. It's because of you and your toxic masculinity. You're walking around here not letting these women flatulate, and it's creating a healthcare crisis.
I mentioned here with my ex, she got way too comfortable one time, and we were laying in bed, and she let it out.
Yeah,
but she let it out in such a fucking gross way. Like she arched her back and like stuck her butt out and really let it out. And then she got so red because she was like, I got so comfortable. I thought I was at home. Oh my God. And it's one of the most top 3 disgusting things I've ever seen.
Did you feel?
I wanted to break up with her.
Did you feel? But you didn't. But she
No.
broke up with you later because you wouldn't pay for shrimps?
Yes.
I met that
I
girl.
should have broken up with her then.
Yeah.
Parts.
Wow. Well, look, I mean, there is something emasculating. Like, you do want, especially early in the relationship, you want there to be some mystique. You don't want her to be that comfortable that quickly, because then it's like, I'm not even a prize. Like,
Oh.
I mean,
I'm
Beyonce
too
did once
comfortable.
say, oh, no. Beyonce said tennis shoes don't even need to buy a new dress. If you ain't there, ain't nobody else to impress. So what she's saying is she's not going to wear tennis shoes around you. She's going to wear the new dress around you. But if you're not there, it's tennis shoes. Tennis shoes, I think, equates to farting. I think what Beyonce's trying to say is, I don't care who's at this party. If you're not there, I'm farting. But if but Jay-Z, if you are there, I'm going to the hospital before you catch me breaking wind. This wind is going to be the safest wind that has ever existed. Not one morsel will be broken. And I can respect that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's the thing. If I were dating Polka, I'd be very flattered that she put herself in the hospital because she was trapping farts all weekend because she was trying to impress me. But then if she stopped trapping her farts, I'd be like, what, I don't impress you anymore? That's the issue.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Or
it's a middle ground.
Or what about this hot dog? This is a news story now. Everybody, I mean, obviously, people who have never even heard of Polka know about her as she's the fart trap lord.
Fart queen.
You know how there's trap lords out there?
Yeah.
She's the fart trap lord. And if she dates somebody new, they're going to know about her trapping farts. And if she's not trapping her farts for them, it's going to be like, you trapped your farts for the other guy? You don't trap your farts for me? What am I, chopped liver? And she's like, nope, I ate chopped liver. That's what was making the farts.
Ugh. It's a gesture of love.
The farts or the trapping?
The trapped farts.
Do you want your love to bring your woman to the hospital?
Every week or so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
to the doc, squeeze it out, come back. Yeah, sure.
I don't see any long-term damage that was done. I mean, she got a stomach ache. Like, you know how some people get like IV drips at the end of every weekend because they know they go hard on the weekend, and then they get an IV drip to get right and everything's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if you just know I don't date on Fridays because Fridays is when I go to the hospital to untrap the farts.
It's
Look,
something that could be manageable.
I do think I understand people not wanting to fart in front of their significant others, men or women. I get it. I do think if you're going to make that choice, you have to be smart about it, and there has to be a release area. You know what I mean? Like, you have to have an exit strategy. This is just poor planning. There has to be an exit strategy.
Or just, look, I mean, I'm not in a relationship, but I
Really?
I don't like farting. Just disclaimer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like farting in front of people still. I understand. I wait until I leave a room to fart. But like, as in like,
but you don't trap them for the whole weekend.
No,
right.
Like but not like I'll leave a room so the people in the room can't smell my fart. I mean, like, as I'm farting, I'm leaving the room. So that fart stays there and it's not in my business anymore.
But at the same time, how great is it when you fart in an elevator and then you walk off the elevator and see the next person getting on?
Yeah.
It's one of the great joys of life.
That's fun.
And imagine if it was a Polka elevator and she had a weekend worth of farts that she just unloaded in that elevator. Oof.
Really?
Oh. Imagine if Polka was in Jodie Foster's safe room and they sealed all the doors up and everything, and Polka was like, I'm sorry, my stomach hurts. It's been all weekend. I got to fart. No, don't do it, Polka. We're stuck in here. Jared Leto is robbing the house. Yeah. Well, God bless Polka.
Let that be a lesson to you, woman. And God bless her. She is a pioneer.
What's the lesson?
Sometimes if you want to show someone how much they mean to you, You got to trap that sucker in.
Okay, that's not. She's specifically saying, girls, don't be ashamed to fart in front of your guys. Like, she's saying that's not the message.
Oh.
Yeah. She's saying that she regrets this. This is not a story of conquering. This is not a story of a hero. This is a story of somebody who had to go to the hospital because she kept trapping farts.
Oh, I thought we were praising her.
No, we're praising her for coming to terms with the fact that she's going to fart in front of everybody now. That's what she should do at her next concert, though. Just take the mic and go, like, you know how we do? No hospital tonight.
Yeah. She's going to fart. That's all she's known for now.
I hope she's at WrestleMania.
Oh.
Farting for 100,000 people. Bring her Saturday and Sunday. Farting for everybody.
Next to you.
Hell yeah. Put her on Stand and Deliver, too. Let her fart in the morning for the NXT universe. I think it's a great idea. Hey, speaking of WrestleMania and everything, are you, I'm watching a lot of TV. Have you been keeping up with the newest judge in town, Judge Steve Harvey?
I had no idea until I saw the title of the show today.
Yeah, Judge Steve Harvey. Hot dog, Judge Steve Harvey is not like a lot of judges. In his courtroom, common sense prevails. And that's because Judge Steve Harvey is neither a lawyer nor a judge. He has no actual credentials. But in the opening of the show, he goes, "In my courtroom, common sense prevails, and I'm too fly to wear a robe." And I go, well, you're not a judge. You wouldn't.
Whoever thought of this deserves like 3 raises. I love it already. I haven't seen 1 second of it.
Dude, they are so confident in this idea. It's not on daytime television.
This is prime time, ABC?
This is ABC Tuesday, 8 p.m. Yeah, this is prime time network television. Yes. Hulu, the whole deal. Streaming. Yes. This and it's like, okay, well, I gotta see what makes this different. And it's literally just a court show, except Steve Harvey's not a judge, and the audience is very animated. And he goes like this. He goes like this. He goes like, well, I lent my friend money and he didn't pay me back. And then the courtroom audience goes, oh. And Steve Harvey does not silence them ever.
No. Oh, my God. I need to see a clip of it.
It's so great. I have a clip for you, as a matter of fact, because just last night on Judge Steve Harvey, do you know who was on the show? J.J. Dillon and the Taskmaster Kevin Sullivan.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes. Professional wrestling legends of the Territory era. Kevin Sullivan, who wrestled in WCW as the Taskmaster, leader of the Dungeon of Doom, also was a demonic Satanist in Florida Championship Wrestling, a wrestling booker of note. I mean, this guy is a legend. He was being sued by manager of the Four Horsemen, J.J. Dillon. The original Four Horsemen, Ric Flair, Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, Ole Anderson, and then their manager, J.J. Dillon. J.J. suing the Taskmaster for $7,500.
This is wrestler's court now.
Yes, they should have had the Undertaker up there. See, the problem is that at one point at a convention, it was a wrestling autograph convention. And by the way, this is how you know, this is like, you know how when they try to incorporate like elements of geek culture into shows and the geeks are like, this is fake, this sucks, because they didn't get all the details right. Steve Harvey goes like this. I've been watching wrestling forever. I'm the biggest wrestling fan. Who do you go by? Because J.J. Dillon is using a shoot name, like Jim Morrison or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I'm like looking at him. I'm like, what do you mean? Who do you... Like, that's fucking clearly J.J. Dillon. like anybody could see that's J.J. Dillon. And he goes, J.J. Dillon. I was the manager of Ric Flair and the Four Horsemen. And Steve Harvey goes, no! I like Bobo Brazil and the Iron Sheik. And J.J. Dillon's like, see? And then he looks at Kevin Sullivan, who is on the show using the name Kevin Sullivan. And Kevin Sullivan goes, and who did you wrestle as? And I go, this is insulting. That's Kevin Sullivan. And he goes, I wrestle as the Taskmaster, Kevin Sullivan, and my whole mission was to end Hulkamania once and for all. And I go, my man right now is on primetime network television shouting out the Dungeon of Doom. God bless you, Kevin Sullivan. But then Steve Harvey.
That is amazing.
Steve Harvey goes like this. He goes, oh, man, you're the Taskmaster? And it's like, the Taskmaster? And he's like, that was when Hogan first started, right? And Kevin Sullivan was like, yup. And I was like, that was 1994.
No, it wasn't.
What are you talking about? When Hogan was past his prime. The Dungeon of Doom? That was 94, 95. Everybody was past their prime.
He didn't want to correct poor Steve Harvey.
He goes like this. 100% right, Judge.
He didn't want to get on his bad side.
No, because he knows it's common sense here. I don't have to pay the $7,500 back. And, it wasn't a bitter rivalry between JJ and Kevin Sullivan. But the problem was they went to an autograph signing. And Kevin Sullivan's like, man, I'm trying to buy this boat, but I can only pay for half of it. And they're about to take it away. And J.J. Dillon, he apparently was about to see his daughter after the convention. She's in law school. He's going to give her some money. So he had some money on hand. He said he had a little bit of extra money. And so he said, I'll pay for the rest of the boat. You pay me back whenever. And Kevin Sullivan goes, yeah? He goes, yeah. They go, deal, done. He gives Kevin Sullivan $7,500. Hot dog, that was 5 years ago. 5 years ago, and J.J. Dillon has not seen a red cent. Not one penny.
Not a dime.
Nope.
Son of a bitch.
No dimes. But Kevin Sullivan, he brought up some good points. He read the dictionary definition of the word whenever. He said, J.J. told me I could pay him back whenever. It's still whenever. Like this, it's whenever. It's still.
The deal hasn't expired.
Exactly. It's whenever. And he said JJ wants it all back in one lump sum, not in increments. Steve Harvey is like, is that true? And JJ's
Did JJ say that?
JJ said, yeah, that's true. I wanted it back in one lump sum. I'm like, oh, look, he didn't have 7,500 then. When's he going to get 7,500? It's not the Dungeon of Doom era anymore. It's not the Taskmaster, when Hulkamania first began. 1983.
Look,
WrestleMania 1.
Steve Harvey.
WrestleMania 1. Hulk Hogan and Mr. T versus Cowboy Bob Orton and the Taskmaster Kevin Sullivan.
I'm not Steve Harvey. I don't have a courtroom, but I'm in Sullivan's side here. If the Sullivan offered to pay him up in payments, I think that's more than fair. You should be able to accept that.
And then he goes like this. Judge Steve Harvey. Judge Steve Harvey goes like this. Did you have any kind of written loan agreement? And J.J. Dillon's like, no, I didn't. And he goes like this. Where we come from, you take a man at his word. And Steve Harvey goes like this. I love that. That's exactly right. Like Judge Judy would have been like, what? No, this is not a legal thing. This is crazy. But Judge Steve Harvey is like, that's beautiful, man. And he goes like this. Not a lot of people like you, and there should be more. There should be more people like you. And I'm like, what? Poor people who lose $7,500? That's the Taskmaster, Kevin Sullivan. He tried to end Hulkamania in the beginning of Hulkamania. Listen, here's a clip. Here's a little clip of Steve Harvey breaking it down. See, he's got a gold gavel, you'll see. See, it's not just a standard wooden gavel. It's golden, because he's fly. Here's Steve getting to the bottom of some stuff.
All that. Yeah, and it's like
that's the Taskmaster. That's JJ.
Okay, so did you get the boat? And what kind of boat did you get? Did you get it?
I got the boat. It was a Key West open fisherman.
Have you enjoyed the boat?
This is what I mean. He goes, I got the boat. It was a Key West fisherman. And the audience is going like this. That's a nice boat. Like, what? They're applauding.
Good on you.
Yeah, he's like that's JJ's money in that boat. Like, what are you clapping for the boat for? He didn't.
Well, he spent it well. It's
a good boat. It's a good boat. You gotta, and like the applause is like so fake. Like it's so clearly piped in. It's like the Thunderdome era of the Judge Steve Harvey. It's a nice boat. Steve's probably in the edit room going like, we need to get some applause for that boat in here, guys. What are we doing? What am I hiring you guys for? You want the audience to applaud the boat? Of course. It's a beautiful boat. All right, Steve.
It's a beautiful photo of a boat.
Call me Judge Steve. Well, I mean, I don't know why I would, but okay.
See, I'm from Chicago, y'all.
That's it. That's the whole show.
Where I come from, yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Have you ever been on the boat?
No.
I love that. Have you ever been on the boat? JJ goes, no. He's not even offended by it. He's like, no, I haven't. And the audience goes, ooh, oh, no. First, he takes your money. Then, even worse, he doesn't let you on the boat. Ooh.
It's a shit stir.
Yeah. Kevin Sullivan's, he's probably getting ready to put a satanic curse on them.
Yeah.
Don't make me bring out the Zodiac, or even more feared, the Yeti. I wish he had the Yeti as a character witness. You remember the Yeti?
I vaguely remember it was a horrible gimmick.
His name was the Yeti, and he was dressed as a mummy.
Yeah.
A Yeti is an abominable snowman. He's dressed like a mummy, and they called him the Yeti. I mean, it was never explained, and his only move was bear hug. Just bear hugs. Anyway,
Oh.
I digress. It's the Yeti. It's the mummy. What do you mean the Yeti? God bless Tony Schiavone just being enthusiastic about whatever.
I get seasick real easy.
Oh, you okay? Yeah, well, you don't want to be
I'm a
on.
landlubber.
How big is that boat? How many feet is that?
20 feet.
Yeah, 20 feet in the ocean. It's going to be some rocking.
Yes.
This is the best.
Yeah, but
I like to rock, but not on the ocean.
Woo! I like to rock, but
Action.
not on the ocean. Woo! Everyone's like, this is a court of law, goddammit. Actually, it's a court of common sense. Okay. All right. It's just so... I like that they've given up on the idea of we have to convince people that this is real. Like, all my life, people tell me wrestling's fake as if it's news to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say greater than 50% of the people watching Judge Steve Harvey think that the Taskmaster and J.J. Dillon are actually trying to settle a $7,500 debt.
Of course not. They would go to the ring for that.
Yeah, exactly. The court shows are real. You know what the most insulting part of it all was? He's like, at the end of the show, Steve Harvey tries to have a moment. You know, he likes to have his moments.
When he talks to the audience and the camera. Is that one of those?
Well, not for
Okay,
this case.
Okay.
But it's the same spirit. He finds in favor of J.J. Dillon. But because he believes in friendship and because he loves wrestling so much, he says the court is going to pay Kevin Sullivan's debt.
Yes. Yes. What a happy ending.
Although if I'm Kevin Sullivan, I'd be like, why doesn't the court give me the $7,500? I'll give it to JJ. Like, don't even worry about that. Yeah. And then, but here's the part where it gets really insulting to me. He goes like this. I want to thank you all for your years of entertainment that you've given me. I remember watching the Taskmaster and Jim Morrison in there. And I'm like, he never wrestled under his shoot name. He didn't say J.J. Dillon. He used his shoot name. Come on, Judge Steve. What are you doing?
I grew up watching Andre the Giant and the Taskmaster. Oh, you guys.
Steve, you were doing the Kings of Comedy when the Taskmaster was wrestling. There's no way that you and Cedric were getting on the tour bus and watching WCW Saturday Night. It wasn't happening. I refuse to believe it. Didn't you have a brother, Dave Sullivan, who was kind of dopey? Like, whoa, you know a lot about mid-90s WCW. That was a bad era. Yeah, I mean, he's talking about Monday.
He was more an FNW fan.
Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, he's talking about Monday Night. Like, it's on the outside. It's literally the new generation. That's the era that Steve Harvey's talking about.
Yeah.
I remember the Taskmaster. No, you don't. The Dungeon of Doom, of course.
Look, I'm gonna take a wild guess and say this show is gonna get more than one season.
It
This
better.
seems like an easy no-brainer. Why wouldn't you watch this? I mean, it's a Tuesday night. What else could they possibly be playing on ABC aside from Judge Steve Harvey?
I mean, look. Do you think I just watched that clip or I watched the whole court case?
I'm sure you did.
The whole court case. Because what else?
Of
course. Why would you turn it off? You know? What reason would you have to turn it off? And you're 100% right. What great network programming are we missing? The answer is zero. They're not putting Better Call Saul on ABC. That's going to be on cable. So what's on ABC? Judge Steve Harvey. I'd rather have Judge Steve Harvey than another stupid game show remake. You know?
Leave that there. That's gonna be great.
And when I say stupid game show remake, you know why? Because Steve Harvey's already doing that.
He's got it covered.
He's already got that. Steve Harvey's good. Steve Harvey's going to control network television. Whatever genre you got. In here, it's a court of common sense. Okay, Judge, whatever you say.
You need a gavel.
I do. I could be a judge.
Yeah.
I hereby say, Hot Dog is an idiot.
Yeah, that's not common sense.
Okay, all right. Well, I don't know. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear all the details of the case. All right, guys. You know how we roll here on Sam Roberts. Now, first of all, you're getting real shy about that like button. Hit me with that like button. The like button's free. All of yous can hit me with the like button. Just hit the like button. What's it gonna cost you? I'm gonna have more clips coming from episodes of Sam Roberts Now throughout on the YouTube channel. There should be stuff coming out pretty much every day. New episode of Prima Volta should be up tomorrow on the early side. So make sure that you check that out. The best thing you can do is subscribe to this here channel and turn your alerts on. So that way you know every time new content gets added. In the meantime, you want to contribute to tonight's show directly? I mean, you're watching live. You might as well have your contributions acknowledged. And you know the only way to get that done is to Super Chat. Every Super Chat gets acknowledged. So send them in right now because it's time. Can I say that before every Super Chat without getting in legal trouble?
That might be a suit.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. If anybody has a problem with me saying that, I'll see you in the court of common sense.
Bum, bum.
Wouldn't it be great if me and Bruce Buffer were in Judge Steve Harvey? I'd be like, yeah, but come on, it's time. Like, yeah, everybody says that, right, Steve? That's true. I do be saying that. Like,
You could steal Mark Henry's catchphrase now.
what's Mark Henry? What? Oh, it's time for the main event?
Yeah.
Mark Henry found one with "It's time for the main event," didn't he?
I love it.
Yeah, everybody loves it.
It's good for
Everybody
him.
loves it.
Yeah.
It's very memed.
Looks like we've had enough talk. It's time for the main event. It's like soothing almost.
Yeah. I feel like Mark Henry could sit in like a big easy chair in front of a fireplace and just guide us through an AEW show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, you got it, Mark Henry. It's almost like sexual chocolate is starting to dip back in there a little bit. Send those super chats in. Not Sam Lehman, yo, have you been watched Fresh yet? First of all, that's not how you talk, Lehman. And second of all, I have not yet watched Fresh, but it is on my Hulu list of movies to watch. Rob Thompson, Sam, long time. Since I'm at work, we'll send this as a hello. East Side Sam, SiriusXM. I got lots to listen to. Be well. You too, Hot Dog. Look at you, Hot Dog. Not Sam Lehman says justice for Lila Garrity. You could say that again. Landon Carroll think it could be Fear Street on Netflix type timeline. I loved Fear Street's timeline. I loved that whole trilogy. And that's a great example of a trilogy that is much better as a complete trilogy than any of the single movies. Like, the single movies are good, and I have a favorite. I don't remember which one was my favorite, to tell you the truth. I haven't seen them again since I watched them that first time. But I remember after watching the trilogy all come together, I was like, yeah, that was awesome. I should give that a rewatch. I really like that. That Corey dude, girls fart? ? Question mark? Not in my presence.
Mm-mm.
I got
Never heard it.
I got health insurance for a reason. My women don't fart. Okay?
You use that insurance if you have to, but
I don't
better not use
mind.
the restroom.
Yeah, if you're going to fart, it's going to be on SiriusXM's dime, okay? Not on mine. Kevin Lumford, a Yeti is an albino Bigfoot. Yeah, it's not a mummy. And then he says, it's time. It's time. It's Vader time. Shout outs to
There you
Big
go.
Leon.
That's your defense. That's your defense in court.
Hey.
I was getting to the Vader part, but I don't think he heard the rest of it.
Vader used to wrestle Bruno Sammartino, right? Yep. Yes, he
Yep.
did, Judge Steve. Yes, he did. Yeah. Shout outs to Big Leon going into the Hall of Fame this year, by the way.
Yeah.
Bless up to Vader. All right, guys. Be subscribed to the channel. Hit that like button. We will see you back here on Lonely Friday night for another episode of Sam Roberts Now. Until then, I'm going to cheers with you later.
Drill, baby, drill.